with it being International Women's Month, I'd like to introduce you all to the new special lady in my life. Yeah, that's right. Don't speak. Don't speak. Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Guido Goes Off. I got some limited time, so I'm going to go ahead and start right into it. As many people know, the Hardys, as we've talked about on the show several times, the Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff, no longer involved with Impact Wrestling. However, Anthem is very much not wanting to let the Hardys go, especially the gimmick. Ladies and gentlemen, it was announced that Anthem was okay with letting the Hardys use the Broken Hardys gimmick outside of Impact Wrestling, as long as they received a percentage of any revenue from those characters. Now, this has a lot of people up in arms because of, well, a few simple reasons. One of which, Anthem doesn't own the Hardy character. Now, it was recently noted on several sites that Matt Hardy has recently filed a copyright for the Broken Hardys gimmick and pretty much everything related to that. And where this issue lies with Anthem trying to basically get a cash grab out of, well, let's face facts, Impact's most profitable characters of quite some time. The fact is, it's simply a cash grab. Anthem, as of course citing the fact that since they own Impact Wrestling, they own everything related to Impact Wrestling, that's how that if this goes to court, which probably will, that is what they're going to cite. That since they own Impact Wrestling, they bought out Impact Wrestling, they own everything to do with it. Well, it comes down to the issue of creative control. From what I gathered, Matt Hardy was given complete and total creative control of any Matt Hardy character. And so, in that aspect, since he created the character of Broken Matt and Brother Nero, which turned to Broken Jeff, he owns it. Because the people of TNA at the time did not create the character he did, so therefore it is his intellectual property. Now, it could become a legal mess because they'll of course cite that, well, since Impact was paying since TNA was paying Matt Hardy, they own the gimmick, and therefore by proxy, since Anthem owned. And basically, it's just another shameful way of Anthem doing business. I noted several shows ago, they lost talent because of the way they have done business. Don't get me wrong, they're offering substantial contracts, but they were offering them at pretty much the last minute. They were offering them at the last minute, which is shady business. I mean, they've offered a lot of money, but it's basically they got the gun to your head and a contract in front of you. So this can also be seen as just simply another attempt at another shady bit of business by Anthem, because as I discussed, Matt Hardy created this whole Broken Hardy's gimmick, and therefore it's more than likely, if it went to court, the judge would side with Matt Hardy, and he'd be given the copyright and full control of the characters, and full control of that gimmick. And also, more than likely, he would get help from WWE. As we know, the Hardys are the reigning Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, and their deal with Ring of Honor ends on April 1st, which is, of course, the day before WrestleMania. So there's that chance we could see the Hardys at Mania. But given how this all plays out, it depends upon which Hardys we're going to see. So, again, more on this as it develops. Speaking of the way Anthem does business, I'm sure a lot of people saw on YouTube. I want to say early this week, Alberto El Patron was pretty much forced by Impact management to relinquish the Impact Heavyweight Championship. I mean, I guess you could say it's still the TNA Heavyweight Championship. They still got that all crap on there. Maybe this is just a cheap excuse to change the title. As many people saw on the last episode of Impact Wrestling, El Patron, in his first match in the company, beat Bobby Lashley in controversial fashion. You had referees knocked out and him with the belt, all that good stuff. Having him, with him, and the match ended with him pinning Bobby Lashley and becoming the new Impact World Champion. So now on YouTube, they had him meeting with Bruce Pritchard and Dutch Mantel, and basically they were forcing him to relinquish the title. And in the process, they were asking him to do the right thing. And saying his father would have him do the right thing. Okay. You're saying that a man who wrestled under the name Dos Caras Jr., whose father was the original Dos Caras, one of the biggest rudos in Lucha Libre history, he would have you do the right thing. I mean, the hell. So basically, well, we know somebody who's going to be very happy about this title relinquishing. But it does put a sour note on perhaps, since his leaving WWE, El Patron's biggest week in wrestling. Because not only did he win the Impact Heavyweight Championship, but he also won the WAW Heavyweight Championship. Which, as everyone knows, is that promotion is, of course, owned and booked by Ricky Knight. His possibly father, it could be soon, father-in-law, I guess, I don't know. But we here at the Guido Goes Off are hoping that, in light of this situation, we hope that there are other titles that Alberto El Patron would like to relinquish. Paige's significant other. You don't need that title, right? And a new report coming in from our STFU division. Ryback, as we all, changed his name legally so that he could use it. Ryback made a comment recently. I forget what show, but it doesn't matter because the comment's still funny. It was announced on the show that Ryback said that the reason WWE hired Goldberg was because he left. Yeah. Let's let that sink in. Okay. All right. They needed to fill that pre-show match slot that Ryback left behind because he wanted Vince to pay for everything. And he feels that in order to fill the pre-show slot, that what was the reason that they hired Goldberg. Okay. So So let me get this straight. They hired Goldberg, right out of the gate, having him become the Universal Champion. Basically, if you get ask WWE, its top title, within the span of less than 2 minutes in ring work. To fill that pre-show spot that Ryback was holding. Yeah. I mean, I had a lot of respect for Ryback for I mean, one, his story is quite inspirational, and he tries to be a force of good in this world, which we need more people like him, if that's the route he chooses. And and no one can blame him for wanting more money. And simply put, I had respect for him, but this is basically basically a look at me, a look at me statement by Ryback, because I mean, to think that is the reason they hired Goldberg. Not to bring in fans. Not to up the nostalgia factor, which Vince loves to do. Vince loves Vince loves money. Vince is going to do what he feels he needs to do. Like doing a rematch of one of the worst matches in WrestleMania history, and have two part-timers fighting over the Universal Championship, your top title. So once again, it disappears for months at a time. And that's the reason they hire Goldberg. I just have this one question for Ryback. Are you insane? You did all this. I had respect for him, and now you do something like this because it's. Let's face facts. That's like the stupidest thing you could have said. I mean, Goldberg was a big name, a certified draw. And don't get me wrong, WWE did Ryback dirty by basically taking away his merchandise and taking away a gimmick that was working and taking away all that and basically turning him into a Goldberg clone. Let's face facts, it's what they did. But it's basically just, another wicked case of sour grapes. It's there's times to open your mouth and there's times to keep your mouth shut. This was an instance when this thought was in his brain. It should have died there, because flat out, you're a dumbass, man. It's a dumbass thing to say. Stupid! Well, that's going to do it for this episode of The Guido Goes Off. As always, I thank you for watching and would like to hear your input on any of the topics I covered today. As always, there's easy ways to reach me. Of course, there is the comment section below, and of course, my most glorious social media. And while you're here on this YouTube channel, please don't forget to like this video, to share it with your friends, and as always, it really helps us out. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please feel free to do so. Last show I mentioned I was at 30 subscribers. I'm looking to get some more. Anyone helps. Anyone helps. And when you subscribe, hit that bell so you get the notifications of when I've got new videos coming up. I'm trying to get these on a regular basis, but life gets in the way. Anyway, so again, thank you for watching. And as always, I'm the Guido, and I think we're done here.